Hello, hello. Welcome to day 20 of the Alcohol Experiment by Annie Grace. Read to you by me, Melissa O'Malley. Visit alcoholexperiment.com for more information, or you can always reach out to me. I would love to support you in any way that I can. Today is day 20. The chapter is titled Our Headline Culture and the Science of Sharing. And we always start with a quote. This one is by Abraham Lincoln, and it says, "The problem with the internet is that it can be difficult to confirm authenticity." I rolled it. I really thought it was going to be Abraham Lincoln for a second. Okay, let's dive in. Annie says, okay, obviously Abraham Lincoln didn't say that. He was long dead before the internet came into existence. But I think that little joke makes the point that it is difficult to confirm what is true online. We all like to stay informed and feel smart, yet we're all extremely busy, so we don't often take the time to confirm what we see or read online. We live in this headline driven culture where we're constantly scrolling through the headlines, whether it's on social media or the bottom third of a news show. We don't have a lot of time to digest and analyze the millions of pieces of information we're bombarded with each day. So we read the headlines and trust that the actual news story, article, or video is true. After all, it's the news. It has to be fact checked, right? Wrong. In this age of the 24/7, 365 news cycle, there's simply no time to check news stories for accuracy. 20 years ago, there was time between when a story broke and when it was actually reported. Even if it was only a few hours, that was enough time to corroborate stories and double check statistics. Journalists prided themselves on accuracy and a lack of bias. But these days, the media is required to pump out new information as fast as it can, regardless of the truth. The internet is a constant beast that's never satisfied. We can't feed it fast enough. And if an organization does get called out for a mistake, they can easily change it with a few clicks. They don't have to print a correction in the next day's paper or give an embarrassing on air apology. Besides that, our culture's collective attention span is so short that even the most scandalous misrepresentations are quickly forgotten. And let's not forget about clickbait and fake news websites designed to look legitimate at first glance. These are driven by money and greed. The more clicks a story gets, the more money the site makes from advertisers. The writers know this, so they manufacture headlines designed to make you curious or angry, so you click the link. Chances are you know good and well that the article is clickbait, but you go ahead and check it out anyway because the headline is so compelling or infuriating. Of course, it doesn't matter what the headline says because the body of the article, which most people probably won't read, goes on to explain that the headline wasn't true. So that makes it okay in their eyes. Social currency. So we're exposed to news stories and content that may or may not be even remotely accurate. But it doesn't matter because we don't have time to read past the headlines anyway. And then what happens? How do such blatantly false articles get shared across the internet and go viral? The science of sharing says that people share content that gives them social currency. That means we share things that we think will make us look good in other people's eyes. As we've discussed, anything that confirms our own personal biases or makes us look smart or hip or funny, that's what gets shared. Anything that makes us feel bad or uncomfortable gets ignored. Consequently, positive articles about alcohol are shared far more often than ones about its negative effects on our lives. What does any of this have to do with drinking? It comes down to conditioning. We see all these headlines about the benefits of alcohol. They get shared over and over because they confirm our beliefs and make us feel good about our behavior. If we're drinking more than we want to and we see a headline that says red wine contributes to heart health, great. We have a reason to feel good about our wine habit, and we'll probably share the post. But how accurate is that article or video? Does drinking red wine really help your heart? Or are there chemicals in red wine that might help? And might you get those chemicals in a safer way, like from a nice green salad? Who knows? Few people actually dig down into the article or the research to find out. They'll only read the headline and keep on drinking, even though there's overwhelming evidence pointing to the negative effects of alcohol on the heart. Remember that repetition mimics truth. So the more often we see a headline about red wine and heart health, the more likely we'll believe it and repeat it to others. Another example is a study that came out about dementia and alcohol. At first glance, it seemed to be saying that if you are a moderate to heavy drinker, then you are more likely to live longer and have better brain function. One headline read, quote, "Moderate to heavy drinkers are more likely to live to 85 without developing dementia," unquote. Let's dissect that for a minute, shall we? First of all, if you're scanning headlines, you'll probably digest only the first half of the headline, meaning you'll think that heavy drinking helps you live longer, which is absolutely not true. Even if you read the entire headline, you'll still think heavy drinking is good for your cognitive health, which is ironic because there's actually a called alcohol induced dementia. But most people don't know that, and they're not going to dig into the article or read the research to get to the bottom of that headline. I did that because the headline didn't jibe with what jibe. I thought it was jive. Okay. I did that because the headline didn't jibe with what I know about alcohol's effect on our health. Not only was the article seriously flawed, but also the study itself was questionable, and the caveats at the end basically negated the entire thing. But the news cherry picked certain pieces of information and pulled them out of context to match their bias that drinking is good for you. Funded by the alcohol industry. Many of the studies on the health benefits of alcohol are actually paid for by the alcohol industry. That might seem ridiculous, but it happens all the time. The industry is getting ready to spend in the neighborhood of $100 million on a new round of research studies. One can only imagine how skewed those studies are going to be. Yet, if the results show a positive health benefit in any way, news articles will be written and people will share them, netting the industry a far greater return on their investment. They need to keep people happy about their drinking, or it's all over. So, any little correlation between alcohol and good health, no matter how tenuous or sketchy, helps them keep you addicted and sell more booze. You might think that marketing and advertising don't work on you, but the facts say they do. Oddly, they work even better on your subconscious beliefs because you don't think the ads are having an effect. You believe you're immune to advertising, so you don't put up walls against it. You don't question the validity of the claims. And because you don't actively question these things, the pro alcohol messages seep right into your brain where they can keep on conditioning you to consume greater and greater amounts. And all those viral videos, social media articles, memes, and funny drinking clips with your friends share with you, that's all advertising. It's all conditioning. And we let it into our minds without hesitation. Today, think about what you're letting into your mind. Do you even question the truth anymore? Does it matter that headlines are deliberately misleading you just to get a click and make a few cents? And examine your own social media sharing behavior. Do you find yourself scanning headlines and sharing them without actually reading and understanding the article? Does that bother you? What, if anything, would you like to do about it? Day 20 journal questions. Remember, all the wisdom you seek is actually inside you. The most important words in this experiment are the ones you tell yourself. Take some time to answer these questions in a journal, a voice memo to yourself, or simply by speaking the answers out loud for only you to hear. 1. Be the gatekeeper. Consider all the sources of information that you come across in a day. Journal about their validity. Have you taken time to question the information that comes your way to find out if it's really true? 2. Your social sharing. Examine your own social sharing behavior. Do you find yourself scanning headlines and sharing without actually reading and understanding the article? Does that bother you? Write about what, if anything, you would like to change going forward. That's day 20. Tomorrow's day 21, titled, Hey, Good Looking. So I hope you're doing really well. Don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know how you're doing or how I can support you. And keep kicking ass. Keep doing the damn thing. I'll see you tomorrow for day 21. Bye.